Hi, I'm Zachary Udall. You're here with Region Rambler, and we are sitting with Barbara Kehe, the brewmaster, owner, extraordinaire, bill payer, bartender, phone answerer of Ironwood Brewery in Valparaiso, Indiana. So, Barb,
yes,
we are going to get into the nitty-gritty with you. How did you get into brewing?
I had a friend that had a boyfriend who lived in Coal City, Illinois, if you know where that is. And they opened this store in Coal City called Vine to Wine. And he comes to my husband and I and he says, we need to start making beer. Okay, why? Because they've got the supplies in this place. It's going to be cheaper than buying it. Sure. Not really how it happened, and we made some really bad beer to start with, but it evolved into this 25, 30 years later.
So 25, 30 years later, here we are at Ironwood Brewery, and how did you come to find this particular location?
A friend of mine said, I'm selling Becky's house, do you want it? I said yes. So I took it. I'd never been in it, but I knew where it was, so.
And the location's fabulous.
The location's fabulous.
It's in the middle of town, right in the middle of Valparaiso, down the street from the university itself. So 25 years in the brewing, and you decided to just say, screw it, hands off, let's go for it. And you decided to just buy the equipment, buy the house, location.
I had the equipment. I had one 7-barrel fermenter, and I had a 3-barrel system. I had bought that years later. Nick Floyd had sent me an email, said, I found some equipment you might be interested in. I went and saw the guy, or called the guy, Ted Furman, who now brews for Atlas in Chicago. I think it's Atlas. And I bought his old equipment. And that was stored in my garage for a while, along with my fermenter. And then I got the building. A number 5, probably 5, 6 years later, I got the building, and that was it.
So you have a pretty good connection already within the industry, even before you got into. It's sounding like even before you got into.
My first commercial brewing job was at Doom Brew House in Michigan City, 2000 to 2004. So you have to look at that being 15, 20 years ago. Yeah. So I was the only female that hung around with a bunch of guys. It was kind of interesting. It was fun.
Well, that's a good segue, because it's one of those things is, we don't want to dwell on, like, female brewmeister and all this stuff, but do you find it like a boys' club that you're contending with?
Well, see, that's where I was just about to start sliding into.
It's a lot of fun. And I've never been, ever been discriminated against or scooted off or told I wasn't good enough or whatever. Your beer speaks for itself in this industry, so it doesn't matter whether you're male or female. It doesn't matter at all.
Okay, so, and that being said, doesn't matter that you're male or female, there's no special treatment from any of the other brew houses?
No?
Not, I was just wondering.
No,
You're dealing with quite a few guys in an industry, and then a lot of people have what they want to hide as secrets and or not, and so to find cooperation within it, it can be difficult, I would assume.
I've never had a problem. I carry my own 55 pounds of, bags of grain around, and I do my own work, and I do it all.
Earn the respect.
I don't know if I have any respect in this industry. I just do it. I do it because I love it, and I have fun with it. So.
Truly passionate.
I love it.
Ironwood Brewery. Where did that come in conjunction?
Well, I really wanted to name the brewery Tulip Brewing after the tulip tree being the state of Indiana tree, which I was told was too girly. So I had to amend my name, and I discovered by walking around my yard that the ironwood tree puts out a seed head that looks a lot like a hop, and the ironwood that grows in this area is called a hop hornbeam. So once I found that out, I'm like, oh, hop hornbeam, that was easy. Ironwood it is. So that's how I got it.
So when we look at the entire region, and we look at the breweries that have come out, the breweries that have closed, and then the ones who obviously are still in operation, you've had quite a good success story. How How do you view that success story, really, and the things that you've done that are so right in the whole process?
The thing that I did the best was not to overmortgage myself, but that, you know, that's important. But
It's important.
It's important. Actually, I just kind of brew traditional to style beers, and it fits in where I'm at. And a lot of other places do a lot of experimentation, which is great because there's a lot of people that like that kind of stuff. I tend to stick with style, kind of make it stylistic.
So straight to the point, what do we look at in our future?
Maybe I'll expand. Maybe I won't. I'm at the point age-wise where I don't know if I want to work that hard, but I would love to expand. I would think it would be a lot of fun then.
So that has even to do with maybe bottling, maybe not.
No, bottling's kind of tight in this little teeny space, and sometimes I do put some stuff out, like the Russian Imperial Stout in barrel. I've had that out in a bottle before. I've got to work a new label and get a new name. I got a cease and desist from Lakefront Brewery in Milwaukee saying I couldn't use their name for my Black Friday, so it's now Negro Veneris. So I have to redo the label in order to do that. But yeah, I've considered it. We'll see. I work okay with the city. You know, the requirements that they have are important because they're trying to keep up the presentation of the city as being a great place to do business and a great place to have go to visit. So the requirements that the city has out there are for a reason.
Now you have a Russian Imperial Stout that you mentioned you had in this?
Right, in here.
Okay, and you mentioned something about barreling it.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in barrels. We do that every year, and we come out with a barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout on Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving. Ooh. So it's kind of fun. We enjoy it.
And the barrels you put it in are?
I get to go get them in Wisconsin tomorrow. I got a guy who gets them delivered to his place, and then I'm just going to drive up and pick up some barrels.
Oak barrels?
Bourbon barrels.
Bourbon barrels.
Heaven Hill barrels usually is what they are. So I'll see that. I'll find that out when I get there.
Beautiful. So one of the things that excited me so much about your brewery was the idea of fresh ingredients and that you pull your ingredients locally. Can you give us a little bit?
Some of them I do pull locally. I've got a Indiana grain supplier down in Lebanon. And we go through him for a couple batches a year. I also have I grow my own hops outside on the deck. It's kind of a cover in the summer. It shields you. It's nice and green and leafy. It shields you from the sun, so that works out really well. So
very cool.
We generally make a batch of beer with those hops. They're Cascade and Centennial, and we have no idea what the alpha acids are, and we just brew beer and have fun.
So. Woo! So it sounds like you have a lot of different. Some of your local ingredients, though, include not only hops that you grow,
honey.
But local honey.
Yeah, because I have bees in the back in the summer, so we have bees here, and I have bees at a friend's house. So I've got a couple, 2-3 hives depending on the year. And what else do I source locally?
I've seen the list like cranberries or
the lemongrass.
The lemongrass I get from a local supplier. I think he gets it out of Chicago, so it's
local.
I think it's local. I try to do as much local as I can. So, yeah, fresh lemongrass.
Keep it local.
Yep.
Do you feel that you have more of a hands up by using these local ingredients, as in the flavor that you're actually getting?
For some of the stuff, yes. The grain grown in Indiana is really kind of fun to support, and the hops grown in Indiana, not just mine, but local farms. Mm-hmm. I support a couple of them with purchases. So yeah, I think those are kind of fun. But
when we're asking you now about how do you decide or decipher or choose when you have a brew come out when it's supposed to, as we talk about the Russian Imperial Stout.
Russian will be out in November after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. So this takes a little bit of preparation because it has to age in a barrel. Summer coming up, the next couple brews are gonna be things like, a saison, a grisette. So it's, which would be a lower alcohol beer. You want lighter stuff in the summer, generally more refreshing. People like darker stuff, a little bit more roasty in the winter. So fall comes along, you start brewing a Schwartz beer or some kind of stout.
You play with the flavors to the seasons to make them come.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Play with them.
And again, we go back to the idea of when you're brewing and how you're brewing and why you're brewing what you're brewing to get your beer, the Ironwood beer, the classic beer.
Yeah, I try to brew pretty close to style. So I'm not big in putting a lot of stuff in my beer. That's just me. That's how I've found my niche. So what are you having?
Well, the question would be, what is your favorite?
They're my children. How can I pick a favorite?
Aww. Then let me have your oldest.
My oldest. Did I brew the red first or the porter?
W3 was your first beer. I was here.
Yeah, I'd like one of those, please.
What is it?
W cubed.
WQ.
No, not Wild Woman Wheat. Wizard Wand Wheat. If you take a look at this, it looks like a Harry Potter wand. It is made of ironwood, which Harry Potter's wand is also made of ironwood. Ta-da! I don't have a phoenix feather in it though, sorry.
Thank you.